What's going on, traders? Welcome back to the daily recap. Today was a great day. I saw the price action really well again, same as yesterday, and I feel really confident, even though I was only made 2 trades, which I could have made more. But my morning was a little bit frustrated just because I had huge lag on my rithmic platform for some reason. I'm telling you, rithmic is just hot garbage. I don't know why Apex uses them. There's so many out there that's better than rithmic, and every time there's always something wrong with rithmic every week. It's just like anyways, that's a whole separate video. So yeah, today was pretty decent price action, and I feel really confident in reading the price. So let's go over the chart. So on the daily candle, when I came in around 8, this candle was very neutral. So to me, it kind of like told me that we're gonna have some kind of range day, right? And like I said, when we bounce off this resistance right here, I figured either we go back down, test this level right here, or we're just gonna pretty much bounce between these 2 levels. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. So then when I switched over to the 2000 tick chart, this is what I saw. I actually had my overnight lows higher. I had it up here, but then I switched over. And of course, the overnight lows here. And again, in the range, you're looking for price to bounce between the 2 levels, so between overnight highs and overnight lows. So here, and here. Obviously, in the perfect world, it doesn't work like that, but the idea is there. So then I had my notes. Price seems to be in a downtrend as of right now. It's what else we saw here, and then I think there's going to be a range day, which it turned out to be pretty much a range day. I said look for price to bounce between overnight highs and lows, and I said a bigger downtrend channel might be in play, and I say might be because I saw this right here, these 2 swings, and obviously it broke through, and I kind of removed it. So the first opportunity I saw to trade was pretty much pre-market, and it's a failed second entry long. So the way this set up is, this is what a failure looks like. This is what you want to see, right? You want to see 1 tick higher and instantly reverse. And I probably would have entered on the engulfing candle. I would not wait until candle close, but it's a pretty big candle, so I don't know. And you also get a second entry short here as well. Again, you are looking for you are the key entry point with the EMA and the trend line. So especially when the price made this move, you're expecting the price to come back down to this level. And of course, price breaks the trend and tries to create a new low. We'll never get that. It's pretty much almost matching lows. And the second entry, or another opportunity I should say, to trade was probably this failure. Notice you got a new low, first entry short, second entry short, failure. If you traded a second entry short, I see why, because it is almost like a triple test as well. So you do have enough room to the EMA. If you got a scalp out of that, that's awesome. But you can see that price failed to break below the EMA and reversed and went back up. So you just gotta be careful going long into this resistance right here. That's the only thing that's kind of worries me. But when I saw this bounce right here, this swing low, that's why I drew my trend channel. And when we in range, I don't trust the big trend channels. I stick to small ones. But I had this for a reference just to see what it does, and just again, I wouldn't base my trades on that in the range, but I just had it for just reference. So price basically fails to make a new high, I should say that. And you do have a nice little trend channel working up. It goes in a little congestion here, and you do get a second entry long here. It's a bit tricky. It's it's there. It's the only thing with this trade is it's a neutral signal bar, very neutral, and the idea is you are looking for a new high, and it's risky, but it's a small bar, 9 ticks. So if you took that, that's awesome, and you do have enough room to recent highs. So not a bad trade, but the signal bar for me is a little iffy. And then here I actually want to trade this, and this is where pretty much as soon as I logged in from 8 o'clock to probably like all the way to 9, I had this weird lag where it's like 30 plus, and I didn't want to trade it because lag in trading is really bad, because as you know, as soon as you enter, the price is already gone and you're too late, and then you already stopped out. So that's why you don't want to trade when there's lag. Like when you see this number, and if you have this tool, most people don't, but if you see this number and it's red or orange, I definitely would not trade. I mean, I would just reset your rithmic or your Ninja or whatever and come back and then see if it does better. But I was about to trade this number was like 30 plus in the red, and I was like, nope, no thank you. But basically it fell break lower, good signal bar, enough room to the EMA, and you kind of are still looking for a new high from this trend channel, and price just took off, and don't really see anything here. You get a break and a new high in place. So then this is when this swing happened. I moved my overnight highs to this level. Now this, my first trade here, and let me explain to you, this is not by Pat's rules at all. This is just me thinking, and you see how what I was looking for. There's a signature long here, but to me the signal bar is neutral. But what I was thinking, I was actually looking for a failure, because you do have a break and new high already in place. And once I saw this, I was expecting the price to come back down to overnight lows. And when I saw this price action right here, you see how the EMA holds the support really nice, and the price doesn't know what to do. I mean, this is congestion. They're just people just battling out here. Bulls and bears are just battling, trying to find out where price is gonna go. But from context, what I was thinking, okay, we're breaking a new high already in place. Again, you're thinking price is gonna go back to this side. What I should have done, I should have had my stop order here tick below these two candles, right? And just leave it. Instead, what I did is, as you see in the video, I entered basically a market order, and I got some slippage, and there was some lag as well. So I really got lucky in this trade, but I like the idea, and I got 2 points out of that, basically on a one contract, no big deal. And there was a lot of slippage here, so whatever, it is what it is. But the idea was there. Of course, you have a nice downtrend working down, and then you have pretty much this trend channel confirmed. Again, I don't really trust these bigger trend channels. I just have it there for reference. Price touched it, went back up, trying to create a new low, never happened, and you got a failed second entry short here. The only problem with this failed second entry short is make sure you have enough room to get out, right? I mean, you have plenty of room, but I noticed new low for second short, second entry short, failure. Again, I really like this failure. This is what you're looking for. Price tick lower, instantly reverse. This was a really quick move. I wanted to trade this, but with my lag and everything, so I didn't want to risk it. And you would have to basically go in with a stop order on this candle. So nice trade, I like it. And of course, price is reverse, going instantly down, and again in the range. You expect the price to go from here to here to here. So I don't see anything here that I would enter on. Finally get a break and a new low, and the price just keeps going. There is a couple entries here. There's a signature short here. I wouldn't necessarily go short here, just because break new low already played out. But there might be a different trend channel somewhere like this, maybe. I wouldn't be mad at it if you took this trade. I mean, just as long as you have enough room to get out, that's fine. You're okay with it, and you do. So I think it was a solid trade. I just didn't want to risk it. Again, once you see this price hit the overnight lows, you kind of expect it to kind of bounce and go back up. And I don't really see anything here that I would trade. You do get a triple test here. You can look at it as basically a mini trend channel here, breaking new high played out. You are not, the EMA doesn't really matter, but the only thing that is kind of bad about it is flat. The EMA is really flat. So again, when you're in range, it doesn't really matter, but you should be paying attention to it. But You know, you do have price touch once, twice, 3 times. Nice bearish bar. Yeah, plenty of room to recent lows. And nice solid trade. That's all you get is a little scalp out of that. And of course, price breaks through and pulls back up, breaks through again, and just fails. I had my measure moved from this range here, and if it's nice, perfect. You do get a higher low here, but the signal bar for me is not that great. If it closed above the EMA, I would definitely go long, but for me it's just a little bit iffy, so I skipped it. And yeah, price is working back up to the other side of the range, hits the measure move here, bounces off of it, and breaks it finally. And then here's really interesting, because you do get a basically it's a break and a new low played out, but I see this as basically just an overshoot, really, to be honest with you, because I mean you can see clearly there's a trend channel working down. So then my second trade of the day is basically a failed breakout, and it doesn't matter how you look at it. You can see that this trend channel played out, break new low, or you can see this mini trend channel played out, break a new low. So both trend channels played out. You kind of still expecting retest of these highs, even though it is below the EMA. It is aggressive trade, and I actually did went a tick basically at the candle open, just to kind of be, you know, less risky, kind of manage my risk. Because it's what this candle is, what, 12 ticks, so you know, 1 tick, I know it's not a big deal, but still you have plenty of room to get out to the EMA. But in my opinion, this trade was a much better trade. It is a multiple test trade, second entry long as well. Notice new high, first entry long, second entry long. The only problem with this trade is the EMA is a little too close for comfort, but again, given the context, I should have traded this, and I wanted to trade this, and I don't know why I backed out. I guess I was still thinking about this trade, but again, I felt like this was a good trade, and I felt like this was definitely a better trade. Again, this is a hindsight, but you know, when you look at it like this, right? You know, you can clearly see that there's some support right there, right? You can clearly see it. So of course it works out pretty well, and there is a failed second entry short here, but the problem with this trade is it's just a little bit too far from EMA, and you are going long to recent highs, so that should be in the back of your mind. You want the failures to be, like I said, kind of like this, right, which, you know, closer to the EMA, but it did tick lower and then instantly reverse. So aggressive, you know, but it is what it is. Price makes a new high, and of course reverses. There is a second entry long here, but I didn't want to trade this just because the signal bar wasn't great. And technically speaking, this is your signal bar, because the next candle actually opened up and triggered your entry, right? The triggered entry, and then reversed, probably stopped you out and went back up again. So it is tricky. The reason I didn't want to trade this too is because you're going to break a new high already in place. So definitely a tricky trade. And if you trade this as a failure, you would probably have to put your stop loss above this candle, 1 tick above this candle. And if you did that, I think you'd have been okay. You probably have to sweat it out for a little bit, but I think you ultimately would have been fine. But I don't know, this is just tricky. And the price kind of goes in this little range right here. Nothing that I like, and then you finally get a failed second entry short here. And again, I had this measured move, and you can see that played out pretty well. Notice new low, first entry short, second entry short failure. Plenty of room to the recent highs and in the range, and so I like that trade. It's a good trade. Then finally it breaks out and then goes back down, and then you get a lower high. Now this is what, and I should have taken this. I don't know why I didn't. I was stupid, but this is a perfect lower high. This is what you're looking for every single time when there's a trend change. For example, like if there's like a lower high here, which you get one here, right, which you can probably take as well, which actually I didn't notice that. Yeah, there's a lower high. So like that, those the trades that you want to take, and especially after a break and a new high already in place. And this is a small risk, really. It really is what, 6 ticks. So break new high already in place, and you get a lower high, and that's a solid. It's aggressive, but I think they work pretty well. And if you get a lower high here, that'd have been perfect too. And that's what you're looking for. You want to look for a lower high, like after, like closer to the previous highs. And that's what you're looking for, not somewhere like in the bottom below the EMA. That's not what you're looking for. This is what you're looking for. So finally, price goes back down, breaks, creates a new low, and it does hit the overnight lows as well. And the price, I'm sorry, no, yeah, overnight low, yeah, I was right, yeah. So overnight lows as well, and you finally get a higher low. And the same concept here, higher lows and lower highs. There's the same exact thing. See, after breaking a new low already played out, if you get a higher low, take a stab long, you know, see what happens, you know what I mean? Most of the times these do work out, but with these you got to be very specific. Like it has to close below the EMA, for me at least. Number one, okay, here's the thing. If it's a lower high or higher low, number one, the signal bar has to be perfect. And number two, it has to close below or above the EMA, right? It depends which way you're going. Those are the only like 2 clear conditions for me to take a lower high. If it's anything below that or anything like that, I don't take it, I don't mess with it, I don't care. And yeah, I pretty much stopped trading after this. And I do want to talk about one thing that I noticed that I kind of been looking for is these little support and resistance lines, right? And I draw this every time we get some kind of resistance, right? And the reason I like these is because I think they create some good trades. For example, here, so you have a nice little resistance here, and you can clearly see there's resistance, right? Price breaks through, creates a new high, comes back down. There's a lower high, and I would not take this because again, the signal bar is not good. It didn't close below the EMA, so I would not take it. There's another lower high here, but the problem with this is already too far from the previous high. So you want a little bit closer. Goes back down, breaks the little support, previous support, right? Comes back down, tests it again, it comes and goes back down. I feel like those trades are very common on the 2000 tick chart, and I think I'm gonna try to trade them more often. And another example too, and I was trying to make a point, is that, you know, I draw lines to support resistance. Now support resistance is not lines, it's actually a box, it's an area, right? It's an area, everybody knows that. It's just to happen that the lines work really well on the 2000 tick chart. And just notice how, you know, you get bounce here, bounce here, bounce here, bounce here, right? You see how it's clear there's resistance at this level. It's clear, it's very clear, right? But notice how it breaks through, you know, comes back up and goes back down again. Now, if you're just scalping, I mean, these are perfect opportunities to go either direction, really. Like for example, obviously here you wouldn't go launch because you don't know if it's a support resistance right there. But here, you have a clear downtrend working. It bounces off this level, right? Goes back up. I mean, if you're looking for a scalp, just go long this candle and see what happens. Just take a stab. You know, you're waiting for break and a new low, right, from this channel. So you know that the channel has to be broken in order to create a new low. And if you're not sure, okay, cool, boom, right there, next one. Great signal bar, very bullish. You know, 10 ticks, not a bad risk. Take a stab long, see what happens. You have plenty of room to the EMA, plenty of room to the EMA. Same thing here, boom, price breaks to the level, okay, cool. Let's wait for a retest, comes back up, breaks to the retest, test the retests, right? And funny thing is here, you actually get a second entry short. New low, first entry short, second entry short, right? It's crazy, it is so crazy. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I like these trades, right? I like them. Plenty of room to the recent lows. And again, if you're just going for a scalp, I mean, these are really, I think they're high probability setups. And I know that, you know, people only trade price action rules, and I get that. But support and resistance is part of the price action, and I think that you should learn it and pay attention to it. And I'm definitely gonna pay attention to it, just because I mean this is a you got triple confirmation. It's a second entry short, right? It closed below the EMA, good signal bar. You have a break and a new low expected, right? I mean, this is a perfect trade right here, right? It comes back up again, test the resistance again. I mean, I wouldn't go short here just because signal bar is trash, right? Comes back up, breaks through, goes back down, tests it again. I mean, I wouldn't go short here either, but you do get a lower high. But the problem with this is you're going short into resistance, overnight lows. I mean, you don't know if it's gonna work out like that. So, but if you get a good signal bar, just go for it, see what happens, right? Same thing here with the measured move, right? You can clearly see the price struggles break through this level. Boom, breaks through it, comes back down, breaks through it again, comes back up, tests it again, goes back down, right? I mean, this is just typical retest and break and retest, right? Super easy. I mean, I won't go short here because the signal bar sucks, but let me see if I can find another example. Maybe here. No, you got you get a little bit of resistance here, goes back down, comes back up, breaks through it. But even if you look at a micro level, right, you can see that price broke through it, trying to test it again, went back up. You know, even if you extend this, I mean, look at this. This is crazy. Yeah, if you have it's an area, right? You see how it tested it once, twice, boom, big signal bar. I mean, according to price action, it's failed breakout, right? I mean, you can just see how it's holding that support, right? It's just crazy. So, anyways, I just want to talk about that for a little bit. I think there's something there. I think you should definitely pay attention to it. Even again, I mean, look at here. Price breaks through bottom of the range, comes back up, tests it. If you go short here and you put your stop loss, one tick above this bar, right? It never gets touched. Yeah, you might have to sweat it out for a little bit, and it's a little congested. Yeah, no, definitely. But boom, it breaks through, comes back up. It's something I think that should be pay attention to. That's it from me, guys. Hopefully you had a good day. Hopefully you make some money. I'm done for the day. Be safe, trade cautious, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.